Okay, hi. So this is explaining how to make the masks. So you're gonna get two pieces that are gonna be the same size, hopefully. I sometimes cut stuff that is not the same size. And the first thing that you're gonna do, you actually are gonna sew a seam on each side on each piece, just one side of the. So we do it here in the top. You see that there's no more seam, it's just the top, and then we did it here on the top. Okay, so that's the first thing that we have to do. Just sew the seams, and when I'm sewing the seam, I actually doing double wrap. So I wrap like this, and then I wrap like this, and I do the sewing so we don't get the disheveling of the, and it looks definitely more clean when you do it that way. So now we are going to put the fabric face to face. So we're going to put them like this, face to face, matching the seams that we did, and then we are going to sew the top, but we're going to sew just the corners, and we're going to leave as opening, because this will be the pocket where they can put the filter. Okay, and when we sew this piece and this piece, we have to reinforce put here to make sure that when they are opening and closing the pocket, they don't dishevel on the sewing here. And then when we do this top, we are going to sew this bottom from here to here. So we're gonna sew it. You don't have to fold anything, you just have to sew it straight. Now we sew bottom and we sew top, and we did the pocket and we reinforced. So you just have to do reverse and forward like 3 times in the machine, so it give you enough thread. So there's 2 ways to do this. You can do the whole sides and just flip the mask through the hole, or do it this way, and I will tell you what the difference is. So when we flip the fabric, we still have 2 openings, but we're gonna close that with zigzag. But you don't have to. If you actually sew and decide to sew completely, then you don't have to do the zigzag. I do the zigzag because it makes the mask flatter and more comfortable. So after you have the mask already sewed, you're gonna put the pocket to the top, and then we're gonna do the pleats. And for the pleats, we're gonna do 3 pleats. The pleats are really important because that's what's gonna make the mask form in on their face. So we are making the pleats, and we're gonna make 3 pleats, and we're gonna pinch them with pins. So we have 1, and we're gonna do it down. So when we have the pocket, we're gonna do it down the pleats. We have 2 pleats, and we pin, but not to the corner because we're gonna need that space. So we have 2 pleats, and we have a 3rd pleat here. So we have 3 pleats, and I know it's gonna look really skinny, but trust me, the pleats are going to help a lot to form, and the mask is not gonna stay this skinny. It's gonna form into their face and make it closer to their nose and under the chin, so you don't have to put the metal on their nose, and they are more covered. So now we are going to do, and what I do is that I actually just use this zigzag point to sew, and I'm going to do as closer to this side as I can, and we are going to do that zigzag, and then I will show you what we do after the zigzag. Okay, so we did the zigzag in both sides, and what we're going to do with the scissors, it's cut as close as we can to the zigzag without cutting the stitch that we just did. Okay, so we're gonna cut, and this is going to help us keep the bulge of the fabric at a minimum. So now that we have the 2 zigzags, we're gonna make the like a little canal for the elastic, and we're doing the canal for the elastic in case that the elastic get too worn. They can actually just change the elastic and put a new elastic, but the mask is still gonna be good for use. So what we are gonna do is that we did the pleats down with our little pocket. So now we're gonna turn it around, and we are going to fold to make a canal, and we are going to sew. Now I use zigzag to sew, so it looks cleaner and it's flatter, so you can do that. So when I use the zigzag, I'm gonna use the zigzag that it hits from the edge of the fold to the fabric. So I'm gonna give you guys an example of how that looks. So I take the pin so I can sew a little bit more, and I'm gonna make sure that when I fold it, the pleats are gonna stay instead of actually stretching the pleats. So if you look at the fold, you see that I still have my pleats in the same place. So what we do is we are going to sew with making sure that the line is in the middle, okay? And we are going to go with the zigzag and back, and we're going to make sure that that zigzag hits our fold and it hits our the outside of the mask too. So, and then we are going to turn, and we're going to sew back again to the other side, just to make sure that we are securing, because that's where the elastic is going, and we don't want that to get ruined with all the pulling. So I'm gonna show you here. Also, you cannot leave any strings into the fabric. So now that you see that I covered the seam and I covered the edge of the fold, and we're gonna do the same thing here. So at the end, we're gonna have a little canal so we can put the elastic. Okay, so we did our both stitches to make the holes for the elastic to go in, and if you look at the mask, we have the pocket and we have and this is how it looks, but the mask is going to open and actually conform, and I make it a little bit bigger than other ones because that way you make sure that this hit the bridge of the nose and this bottom hit the under bottom of the shin. And so the only thing that you have to do now is to actually put the elastic. This is another type of mask that I did, which is mostly the same. The difference is that the pocket is in the middle, but I figured that it was easier to do just like that with the pocket in the top. So if you run out of elastics, and because I know they're running low on elastics, you can actually use the elastic string. I know people use even hair ties and stuff like that, and you're just going to put it in and you're going to tie it, and then you're going to put it like, you know, and I always make this a little bit bigger than usual because, you know, if it's small, it's not going to work out, but if it's big, they can actually just make another knot and make it into there to fit. And because of the lack of elastic, we are just going to use this, and what it helps is that when this doesn't work anymore, you know, or it gets ruined, they can actually just pull it out and put another elastic in, you know, and that's how we make our masks. So I hope this helps and And also I forgot to say the pocket is really important, because inside this mask they can put one of the surgical masks inside the pocket, and that will give them the extra protection that they need, and they can reuse then that mask. And these ones can be washed in cold water and then dry in low temperature in the dryer. So I hope you guys find this helpful. Thank you.